Hello everyone, my name is Puneet. I'm part of Informatica G system. In this video KB, we are going to know about what is Open Table Connector. Agenda, we'll get to know what is Open Table overview and the iceberg architecture overview, Open Table connection properties, followed by a demo. Open Table is a format, way of organizing and managing the data files within a data lake. The purpose is to bring the database like features to a data lake, which are crucial by enabling the data lake warehouse architectures. It provides a layer of abstraction on top of data lake, and the types of modern file open table formats are like Iceberg, Delta Lakes, Apache Hudi, or One Table. It can be used either HDFS or any other file-based objects like S3, ADLS Gen 2, or Google Storage. It supports both record level insert, update, delete, and time travel queries. Iceberg, it actually consists of three layers. One is Iceberg catalog, a metadata layer, and the data layer. Looking at this Iceberg architecture, you could see that there are three types. One is an Iceberg catalog. So when we create Iceberg format a table, it creates a metadata file, and then like we do have a metadata layer. So where once you insert the data, so you would be getting a manifest file list and the manifest file. So this contains the snapshot ID of the entry, the action which you have done on top of the table. There's a large layer, there is a data layer. The data layer contains the actual data of the table which got inserted or updated. This will be default in the Parquet format. Whereas the other manifest files or the manifest file list would be in the Avro format, which is the main file, contains the entry which we have done inside the tables. So that has both snapshot ID and the time stamps. Any updates or delete to the data layer creates a new snapshot in the metadata layer, and Iceberg uses the snapshot ID based query model where data files are mapped by using a manifest file and the metadata files. Coming to Informatica Open Table Connector, we support currently the Open Table connectors on only CDA Elastic, that is advanced mappings. We do support both reader and writer, and in the reader, the data preview is supported, query options with filter is supported. There is a time travel feature where like most of the customers start use open table or the iceberg format, so that feature itself is also supported. Coming to writer, we do support insert options and create a targeted runtime. That is also supported. Lookup and cache both are supported. Let's move on to the demo so that you will understand the iceberg format and how we can create a iceberg format table and to run advanced mapping inside CDIE. So this is the open table connector which currently I'm using it. The type table, the types of this connector is open table. Mention the catalog as like glue catalog. Currently we are support only the AWS glue catalog, so you should use the glue catalog. And I've mentioned like in the region where my S3 buckets are present and the location of the S3 bucket, so where all my iceberg tables are created. And I'm using an access key secret key. If you are using an ARN, then you can start using the ARN IAM rules. So in this test, I'm going to use access key secret key. And when you click on test connections, you would be able to see a message saying that like the test connection successfully completed. If you do not see this iceberg table connectors enabled on your org, ensure you go to the runtime and then like enable the connection by click on this runtime. Click on enable disable the service connectors and go to the connectors and go to the open table. So enable this connector. This will download all the dependency libraries to your agent machine. Once the dependency libraries are downloaded, you would see a new data integration service gets restarted and get a new version of data integration service. And then like you would be able to see a connection called open connect connections. So once we have the connector connection, once we have the open table connection created, since if you're already aware about AWS Glue, you can go to the AWS Glue and then start creating tables. Say suppose I'm going to create a demo table. Here, this is the AWS Glue catalog. I'm just created a table called demo glue. I'm just selecting one of my database name, just GCS test, and here I'm mentioning the path of my S3 bucket, like where I need to create a iceberg tables. So and then like you click on next, it will ask you to add the schema name. So sorry, like you can go one step back, previous, and then here you need to select the format as iceberg. You can mention the S3 location where you need to create a iceberg formatted tables, then click on next, start adding the schema. If you already have a schema, you can make use of the same schema here, or click on add. I'm just going to mention it as like name, say suppose string, and like I'm just going to add one other name called age, or I'll just say mention area, right? Like click on save. So just click on next and click on create. So this will create a table, and once the table is created, maybe you can go back and you can just check whether the table is created or not. Select staff GCS test dot demo. Let's verify what's the table name. It is demo 11. Let's go back and let's add a demo 11 and verify whether this table got created or not. So this is how you can make use of this glue catalog and create tables with the iceberg format. And once it is created, you can go to data integrations, click on new and click on mapping, and then select the mapping in which you want to create a open table or read or write to open table. Click on mapping. As I mentioned, like these open tables are currently supported on advanced mode. So first you need to switch the mapping to an advanced mode. So before you switch the mapping to an advanced mode, ensure like your org has a advanced cluster license and advanced clusters created. So these are the Kubernetes clusters, and when you run a advanced mapping, the logic will be run on your Spark Kubernetes framework. So ensure you have this advanced clusters created, and go to the runtime, and also ensure that there is a service called at scale server, the elastic server service. So that has to be running on your agent machine, and if that is running, and then like ensure that advanced cluster is created. If you do not have any advanced cluster created, Informatica creates a default cluster that is called local cluster. So just like ensure that this the elastic server service has to be running on your agent machine, and your agent machine has to be a Linux operating system. It has to be on Linux on top of it. And go to the advanced clusters and see whether you have advanced clusters configured. Currently I'm using this runtime. This runtime is associated to the advanced clusters, and go back to the mapping, switch the mapping to an advanced, and here you can start use open table as a source or target. So suppose if I go back to one of my previously developed mapping, so this is one of my mapping, like where you can see I have created a open table and I'm reading a table as GCS demo 1. And if you see the target, I've written a target to a demo 2, and you just need to go click on run. Just like click on run. So this will execute the mapping inside the advanced clusters. So initially it would take 7 to 8 minutes to bring up the cluster. So once the cluster comes to a running state, you would be able to see the status of the mapping. Currently I've executed few of the mappings. I'm going to show the output of this mapping. So this is the one of the mapping which I executed, and you can see it has created one task. So this is a Spark task. As I mentioned, it runs on advanced mode. It will have a Spark which actually reads and write the data to a target. So we have currently written a data to a target, that is a GCS demo 2. Let's go and verify whether we have a data inside it or not. So demo 2 is my table name. Yeah, you could see there's a table data got written from a demo 1 to a demo 2. This is how actually you can make use of this iceberg formatted tables. Also, as iceberg formatted tables are more familiar. It has a better feature like where customers started using by using its own features, that is a time travel query feature. So what you can do, like you can go back to the source. In source, if you use before to that, like if you go to the S3 bucket where your table got created, if so as I was explaining about the iceberg architecture, whenever you create a table, it creates a metadata, and it also creates data files. So this data files contains the actual data, but if we go to the metadata files, this metadata files contains the metadata of this particular table, as well as it also has a manifest file list as well as the manifest file. So if you open one of this manifest file, the metadata file, which is in the JSON format, you would be able to see the snapshot ID. Currently it is saying it is a current snapshot ID, and it also shows the previous snapshot ID, what is the previous snapshot ID and the current snapshot IDs. So and also it shows the timestamp at what time this particular insert or update happened inside this particular table, which is a specific table which is currently stored inside this location, right? So having these two details, that is a snapshot ID or a timestamp, you can query your table, filter the table just to load only the specific records which got inserted during the snapshot ID or the timestamp. So how we can do? You have to go back to your source, open table, click on source, and click on the query options. Click on this filter, and then you need to select it as an advanced filter. You need to give a value as like time travel value is equal to, you need to give a standard format like it is in the UTC. So if you see your the manifest list file, sorry, the metadata file which contains the timestamps in the epoch, you need to convert this epoch times to your UTC, and then you need to pass this UTC timestamps here. So once soon you give, it will read only the data which got inserted during the time of this snapshot ID, this time travel. Only those records will be get read and written to your target tables. Similarly, if you are not aware about this timestamps and if you want to go with the snapshot ID, you can also do that by using the same filter condition. Go back to the source, click on the source, and click on the query options. Go to the snapshot. Sorry, click on the filters, and then like select a condition as a filter condition, and then like you can give snapshot version equal to what is the version you want to give it. So currently in my case, if this is my if this is the versions, then you can start adding this version details here. So soon you click on OK, just run the mapping. So this mappings is going to run on advanced clusters and will be executed. So this is all about demo. Reference, you can go to docs.informatica.com and search with the open table connector. You would be able to see the open table connector and refer to that. We would like to hear from you. Please write us to supportvideos@informatica.com. You can also follow us on twitter.com/infosupport. Thank you.